Hello everyone, this is Krota giving you game 2 in the series between Sen and Donregu, a show match between Sen and Donregu here on Ohana. Now, Sen has spawned as the blue Zerg, meanwhile Donregu has spawned as the red Zerg. I saw some people ask me, hey, where did my spiffy intro go? Well, in order for me to cut down on the time it takes to encode, I decided to no longer include the intro as it just adds more and more time anyways. For those of you guys who are curious about my encoding process and how come the audio does sound a bit better, I'm using a new encoding process that basically stores the raw and then encodes after the fact now compared to recording and encoding all on the fly at the same time. I think I was losing a little bit of sound quality in doing so, but then again, what's my computer being left on for another 6 hours anyways? Sen over here on the top left, so far just training up more and more drones. Looks like the builds are going to be pretty much exactly the same now, as we see some beautiful drone micro here. You can see that all of the closer mineral patches have 2, meanwhile the further mineral patches have 1, meaning that there is a slight faster mining advantage over saying this extra little bit of travel distance right there. Hatchery going to be placed down by Sen. It looks like doing a little bit of patrol. He got there just a second too early. Meanwhile, back down over here, we see that this hatchery has been placed down as well. So both players going for a 16 hatchery, most likely will be followed up by a 16 pool, as we 16 extractor now coming in from Donregu. Is Sen gonna go for a pool first, or is he gonna go for an extractor first? It looks like it will be a spawning pool first by Sen. So Sen now getting up that spawning pool a little bit later for Donregu, as we now see the extractor come in. So Sen and Donregu perhaps switching builds this time around compared to game 1, but it is pretty much going to be negligible in terms of any serious difference. Overlord's now getting into position here at the 11 o'clock position. Donregu sees everything he needs to see, knowing that there is a natural expansion already. He knows that there isn't any crazy early spawning pool rush that he should be worried about. Back over here at the natural expansion should be up for Donregu, and we should be going into a good economic game unless these players both decide to hold out at tier 2. Now, Ohana is a map that has a pretty easily accessed third base, as these destructible rocks do go down pretty quickly to roach fire. But it's going to be whether or not a player wants to risk trying to take a third base early. As all Zerg players know, if you go 1 round of workers versus 1 round of army, that could be the definition of victory versus defeat, as both players are now going to be forced to retreat with their overlords from the inside of the base and start playing in a little bit of the dark. Hatchery now training up a 3rd queen, I believe, off over here. So yes, Sen quickly going into 3 queens and also going into a baneling's nest. So perhaps more defensive style banelings, as the 3 queens would indicate. Taking a look over here at Donregu's strategy, Donregu is going up for a 3rd queen as well. It is a little bit delayed, but not by much, and he's going to be going for a baneling's nest as well. So far Donregu has an overall supply advantage, but I don't know if that will really amount to very much at all, as both sides just trying to get up more and more drones. 27 drones versus 26, 5 drones being traded by both sides. And let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and fix that. Yeah, one of the things that is also different is you guys actually see my desktop as opposed to just StarCraft. So anything that pops up on my screen, you guys also get to see as well. A little bit of a difference, but hopefully not much elsewhere. Anyways, Overlord's now making their way around. Going to be parking itself right here. You can see some overlords parking themselves here as well, and we are going into double evolution chambers by Donregu. Double evolution chambers, perhaps fast 1-1 or even 2-2 roaches, could be coming in with good glial reconstitution movement. Meanwhile, creep tumors are also being made down here as well. So we'll see what the strategies look like as the queen now a little bit off of creep and now trying to take down the overlords. However, the Donregu, the overlord, is moving at a little bit slower than this queen. The queen able to catch up and then shoot some darts and then be forced to pull back again. So that queen now down to 88 hit points, still trying to fly away further and further away. Will it be able to get there in time as this queen is now making its way over and getting very, very close to sniping down this overlord. Donregu deciding against it as it does spot 4 Zerglings. Are the Zerglings going to be able to make their way in? 1 Zergling does get taken down. The queen's now trying to engage. The queen going up after 4 Zerglings. And now, oh, what is happening here? The 2 Zerglings do get taken down as the queen with 46 hit points barely survives. And now Sen's overlords pretty much, nope, not going to get taken down at all, as it has looked like, at least to Donregu, that he has kind of flown the coop. Donregu sitting at 66, meanwhile Sen sitting at 57, and a large supply lead, but about the same amount of resources in the bank. Harvester count 48 to 46, but a much heavier larva count for Sen as the Zerglings are attempting to take down this hatchery over here on the top right. We see the cancellation come in. The drone has been taken down. 1 drone down over here. Looks like we may see a similar movement as the Zerglings are making their way over as well. Are they going to be able to take it down or at least force a cancellation like he did against Sen? And it looks like that will be the case. Or no cancellation at all. The full 350 resources lost as that drone and the 300 resources were lost there. Zerglings attempting to run away once more. Will they be able to chase? It doesn't look like it, as they are now back on creep, and Sen has taken the supply lead. And now the queens are making their way over to perhaps snipe down a very easy overlord. Overlord already down to 5 hit points. There it goes. 98 supply compared to 71. More roaches still being added. Hatchery off over here. We're going to see where these Zerglings are going to be going and perhaps running down here in just a moment. Still some Zerglings up on the high ground. 10 Zerglings there, and we could have a little bit of a flank here as the Zerglings, could have caught a queen very easily. Instead, going after the hatchery once again. The hatchery looks like it will be saved as the banelings, or a baneling, tries to make its way in, unable to really do anything there, and the Zerglings are going to be retreating and going back home. Large number of roaches now coming in from Sen. Sen with this crazy number of roaches and only lings and queens to really defend this. These roaches are going to be able to just take down the spine crawler very easily, take down a couple more spine crawlers very easily as well. As those spine crawlers are only doing superfluous damage, not a lot of damage so far, as the roaches are trying to engage and taking down queen after queen, roach after roach, and there is the GG. So Donregu getting caught by a little bit of a timing attack by Sen here in game 2 as we move on into game 3.